Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cynthia, and today I'm sharing with you this first video for the new year. I was really excited to finally get back into journaling. I've been kind of neglecting it a little bit over the past few months with everything happening between the move and finding a new job and starting said job and just getting all organized, and life has been just a little bit more chaotic than usual. So for the new year, I really wanted to start in a new journal and really set the tone for that new year. So here I'm sharing with you the journal I chose to use as a first journal for this new year. It's a journal that Cassie from Dust to Roses sent me. It was a journal swap that we did a few months back, and I'm just working through these different journals that I have from journal swaps or people that gifted them to me, and I wanted to use this one just because of everything that it inspired within me. So I'm going to take you through the journal and just share with you a little bit of what that inspiration is like and what I'm kind of really hoping for myself for this new year. And if you haven't already, I really encourage you to take a moment to reflect about this new year and what you can do to improve. And I mean, like, I'm doing it for this new year, but you can start this anytime, at any point of time. You don't need the new year per se to decide to start new and to set better intentions for yourself. So I'm just going to flip through the whole journal so you can get a good look into this beautiful artwork that Cassie created. It's just, her style is so lovely, and this journal itself felt like I don't even know where to start with how it feels to me, but it exuded femininity to me, and that's really something I wanted to explore this year for myself. By that I mean I want to reflect on the woman that I am and who I am becoming and who I would like to be, and what that all takes into consideration, and how far I've come so far, and who has impacted me in my life, the strong women that have been around me that have shaped the woman that I am. And everything in this journal really kind of screamed that to me. So that's really how I'm setting the tone for this season of life, for this new year, for this new beginning in this new journal. And I just want it to be a lot about the different friendships that I've had, the different mentorships I've encountered, and the different relationships that I've had, as well as just women that do inspire me, whether I know them personally or not. I think you often don't know who you're impacting most in your life. And I like to reflect on those things. I like to reflect on who has had a big impact on my life. And I encourage you once in a while to send that message to that person that is inspiring you, whether or not they know it or they don't. So as you can see here, there's just so many beautiful treasures in this journal. I didn't know where to start. I mean, it helps that whenever I start a new journal, I really like to begin the journal on the first page, and from there, I like to go anywhere in the journal afterwards. So thank goodness for that, because otherwise, every page is just as beautiful as the next one, and it's filled with treasures, truly. It's a beautiful mixture of vintage elements or antique elements, as well as some newer ephemera, and in there's also quite a bit of her digital prints. So I'll have Cassie's information all listed down below. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'll make sure to link her YouTube channel, and she also has a Patreon, which I was part of for a really long time, and I'm thinking of getting back on there if there's still room, but I had to stop that for a little bit due to I was unemployed for a while, so gotta be careful with your finances, So here I'm just going through and showing you every page before I get started and really dig into this beautiful journal. I truly hope that this holiday season was good to you, whether you celebrate or not. I hope you had some moments to recharge and reevaluate what your life is like and what you want it to be, and if you're where you want to be in life, or how do you get where you want to be, and how do you purposely work each day to get there. For me, journaling is definitely one of those things that helps me reflect on my hopes and my dreams and the person I want to be, and how I can achieve that. It's one of the guiding methods that I use. It's not to say that it's not magical, right? It doesn't. You still have to do the work, even if you write down those words. But it helps me stay focused. It helps me really take a moment to assess where I've been, where I am, and where I want to go. So I'm just nearing the end of this journal now. So I'll flip back to the front. And since there was that that kind of pocket, like a tuck spot, I don't know what you would call it, but I'm going to call it a pocket at the very front of the journal. I'm going to use that to take notes of where I am, what I'm doing, and what I want this journal to be. This is always something that I do whenever I start a new journal. I find it so important to record where I'm at in my life. So that will include like which city I'm living in, what kind of work I've been doing, and any other big events that is taking place or has taken place very recently, just so that if I choose to go back to a certain journal, I can get a good sense of who I was at that time and what was I going through for me to create this, like these sorts of spreads in this journal. Now, this is something I've been really enjoying to do lately, so you've probably seen me do it quite a bit in my Christmas journaling if you followed any of those videos, and I just can't seem to be stopped. It's all I want to do. I'm just reusing all those tiny paper scraps and turning them into little pieces of paper where I can write the words that I want to write for as like quotes or titles or however you would like to call that. And I'm just using that as a background for those words and then collaging those onto the page, or in this case, tag that I'm working on. It's a great way to use paper scraps, I tell ya. So here what I wrote is to find peace within. So that just goes in line with what I'm hoping for myself this year. I finally feel like I'm at a point in my life where I know myself a little bit better. I have a better or clearer idea of where I'm going and what I want to do. So I also want to find that peace within me. I struggled quite a bit over the past few years with mental health, and I finally feel like I'm in a better spot mentally, and so I'm just reflecting a little bit on what that can mean for me as a next step, and how that can finally allow me to find that peace within and to work on other things rather than constantly be fighting for survival, truly. So I'm using a combination of wet glue and some double-sided tape throughout this video. I ran out of glue stick, and I was thinking to go get some now this weekend, but we just had a big snowstorm, so the roads are really not good. So I think it'll have to wait, unfortunately. But you can make do with what you have, you know, find new ways to make it work. Now I'm just going to use this little image and the back of it to write where I'm at in life. So the first one I wrote my intentions for this journal and how I wanted to explore who I was as a woman and reflect back on my experiences. And now I'm just, you know, very briefly writing where I'm at, like where I'm living, who I'm living with, which is my husband, and what we're doing, and those sorts of things, you know, very clear and simple. And I chose to tuck back in that little picture of that sweet little girl. It was just really pretty. I liked the way that it looked. So sometimes that's all you need. If you think it's pretty, you can add it in. You don't need a reason. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, so I kept it in, but I just ended up removing everything from the journal. So all the ephemera that Cassie included, I'm just removing it all so that it gives me a little bit more freelance, and I'm able to view each page truly as my own. I'm obviously going to be using everything that she included, but this way I don't feel as not stuck. Stuck seems like a negative word, but restricted perhaps a little bit in where I'm supposed to be using certain things. That's just not really my kind of journaling. So I'm just going through and removing those pieces of ephemera and letting that journal inspire me as I do that. So all the items that I'm using in this very first spread kind of evoke woman is I have the hardest time with those two words, women and woman. To me, it like kind of sounds the same. I know it's different, but phonetics are difficult in a language that isn't your mother tongue. So I have this little cue card that has la femme, which means the woman or the wife. And I'm just playing around with that and trying to see what else I want to use. If you are so inclined in sharing with me, I would love to know, what are you focusing on this year? Is there anything that you're working on, or did you set the tone for your first journal? Did you start a new journal? And what is that about? So I had this vintage paper that was sent to me by Heather, and it says, it seems like to be like a little bit of a journal of some sort that talks about women, and says La femme chez elle, so the woman like in her home or at home. However you wish to interpret that. But it just seemed very fitting, and so I wanted to use just that section of the paper. And then I'm just going to be playing around with some other elements that I can include in these pages to add some journaling, so creating some journaling space. So I have this beautiful paper here, and I'm just going to rip that so that it fits in that pocket a little bit better. And that will be where I do my main journaling, and kind of feel a letter to myself on who I'm trying to become and what I'm hoping for myself truly. And so again, I'm using paper scraps. Paper scraps to frame the words that I'm going to be sticking on this page. And just making a small hole with my owl and using a brad clip. Now I skipped that part. I poke through, and I tried to poke through only the paper, not the first layer of the paper, not the flap, so that I wouldn't go through the whole thing. And then just going to be ripping apart a little bit of that scrap of paper to write those words that I want to write. On this page, what I chose to write were some of the qualities that I either believe myself to be or want to be as a woman. And once I stick them back on there, I'll share with you what they are. I can't remember off the top of my head. So here we have delicate, strong. This word in French is a bit different. It's brilliant, but it's more, I mean it more in a sharp type of way. And the last is filled with happiness. And then I just stuck the letter that Cassie sent me at the front of the journal. And finally, I'm going to be using this image that I have been hoarding for 2 years now. I love this image so much, and I've been waiting for the day that I feel this way, that it actually portrays how I feel and the happiness that's within me. And well, for the past 2 years, it hasn't really been that. So I feel like I'm finally allowing myself and reaching a point that I can enjoy that happiness. And this image to me just is really that. So I'm very happy to be setting the tone for this journal and for this new chapter with this image. I'm going to finish this page with a label and add the date. And then I'm going to do my journaling off camera. But otherwise, that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to share with me down in the comments. I will do my best to respond to all of them. I am so happy to be back on here, and I'm sorry for my absence and for my lack of interaction. It's just been a different season of life. But I thank you all so much for being here and for taking the time to share with me as I create. I hope you're all doing really well, and I'll talk to you all in my next video. Bye now.